Hello and welcome to Season 3 of Meet the Drapers, Brand Accelerator. Every week, 3 entrepreneurs pitch their startups to the Drapers and a VIP guest judge. Every episode, the judges declare a winner to move on to the semifinals.
And the winner is...
But here's the twist. You, the viewer, can invest in any and all of these startups. Like a company? Go to meetthedrapers.com and invest in their live crowdfunding campaign, and you can bring them back for the season finale.
The crowd is voting in 3 of our finalists.
This is your shot to invest like a venture capitalist. Now, let's make some money.
Welcome to Meet the Drapers. I'm Tim Draper. I'm a venture capitalist with Draper Associates. This is my dad, Bill Draper. He's one of the pioneers of venture capital. And my sister, Polly Draper, is a famous actress, producer, director, writer.
Plumber,
does it all for the movie business. And we have a special guest today, Blair LaCorte. He's with AEye. It's in the autonomous vehicle space. But before that, he was the CEO of ExoJet, the most successful private jet charters in North America. So Blair, welcome to Meet the Drapers. I hear you're signed up to go into space. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I was fortunate enough that when Richard started his quest, which was going to be a 5-year quest to go into space, which has now been 12 years, I got involved. And as they say, the journey is sometimes even more important than the actual event. So we're scheduled to try to go up next year. Our goal is to get people up into space so that we can then actually leverage that into supersonic jets, into satellite delivery, and take a lot of that innovation as well and bring it back to business.
how far into space?
So we are going the minimum level to become an astronaut. So we're getting into a low orbit, and we go up and we float around, we take some pictures, we hug each other, and then we come back down.
What is the length of time you're up there and then back down? Do you just...
So it's a full day trip. We're weightless, between 5 and 8 minutes. And we've developed a different type of ship where we can go around and do some experiments if you want to. I'm going to do an experiment for one of my children for his high school science class.
Whoa,
so,
what are you going to do?
they're still voting on it. The class is going to vote on what they want to do. They're going to actually write the experiment. I will be the executor of it and then come back down. So it's very quick, but again, what the astronauts have told us that have been there before is just seeing the Earth from space gives you such a different perspective that it's been game-changing for them on how they think about the Earth and think about climate and think about their dedication to making the Earth a better place.
So can you tell us a little bit? We're these new entrepreneurs. If they get funding, they have to figure out how to build a winning team. Tell us a little bit about how you look at building a winning team. You've got great operational experience. What would you suggest to these entrepreneurs?
You need to be able to communicate, prioritize, and motivate. Now, one person may not be great at all those things. So my biggest thing with building teams is finding people that are different than each other so you don't get confirmation bias. Because if everyone gets along too well and they can't argue, you never get to the issues that you don't want to get to. You try to avoid the pain, and sometimes the pain, as Buddha would say, suffering leads to discovery and awakening. And I think the quicker you can do that, the more likely you're going to win.
Well, terrific. Well, let's meet a few of these teams. As you know, as viewers, you can invest in these companies. You go to meetthedrapers.com and you can invest. Let's see that first contestant. Bring them in. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
Hi, I'm Cassandra. I'm one of the youngest writers in Pathbooks, and I'm part of the team too.
My name is Jorge Caballero. I am a writer and programmer, and I am the founder of Pathbooks.
Pathbooks is an interactive storytelling platform where the reader is allowed to make decisions and change the ending and path and course of the story.
The main reason why kids and teens doesn't like to read is they think reading is boring, because they need more visual and interactive experience. This is why we create Pathbooks. We are so excited about meet all the Drapers.
They're really important, I know that.
All the Drapers want to change the world in different ways. They want to improve the world, to improve people, to help people, and we want to do it too.
So our first contestant is Pathbooks. Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
My name is Jorge Caballero. I am a writer and programmer,
and I am the founder of Pathbooks.
My name is Cassandra Rodriguez, and I'm the youngest writer of Pathbooks. So let me tell you this. My friend Leah doesn't like to read at all. Instead, she prefers watching TikTok and YouTube videos. My little cousin Arthur doesn't like to read either. He prefers watching and playing video games on every single device he has on hand. Actually, 68% of teens and adults think reading is boring. Shocking, right? That is why we decided to create our app called Pathbooks. Pathbooks is an interactive storytelling platform where the reader is allowed to make decisions and change the path, the course, and ending of the story. So as an example, our Cinderella story has, of course, its original ending, but it also has 10 other different endings. So she can decide to become a vet, travel around the world, or even become or start a business. So the point of Pathbooks is really to empower young boys and girls to realize the importance of decision-making in real life. We also have content for young adults and teens, such as stories of science fiction, horror, romance, and adventure. Pathbooks is a really beautiful design platform and very powerful, where we have a 45% more engagement and an average of 2.4 more rereads in our books.
We have 1 million downloads, free downloads, in more than 100 countries, with thousands of positive comments about Pathbooks. Our market is huge, of course. We engage with 3 major industries: ebooks, physical books, and mobile games. But most important, our target market is right now 5 million customers, and only in USA, in Latin America. The business model is a subscription model. Only you pay $4.99 monthly to have unlimited access to the platform.
Each book is one writer.
Yeah,
but what is your stable of writers? How many writers are there?
Right now, more than 100 writers from more than 20 countries.
Are most of these just simple stories?
Some of them have up to like 30 different endings. The simplest ones are for kids. So it's just like 4 different endings, which is simple. But the most broad of them, it's like 30 different endings. Like for me,
for example,
30 different endings, and how many words, how many pages?
Okay, for me, this summer,
text?
I actually just finished writing one book. So it was around 30,000 words, 30 to 50,000, and it has around 4 different endings.
Are we talking about one place where it branches, or can you have multiple branches on your platform?
One place, and then it branches off, where if you choose, it has like 3 different decisions, then it branches off again.
Oh, you can have multiple branches
Yes, exactly.
that keep going.
Keep going.
In the same story.
In the same story.
My question is more about the business model. Do you have like a acquisition cost per customer? Are you going after certain genres first so that you can get enough authors with critical mass so that you can charge for a subscription? What's your plan on the front end?
Yeah, the CAC for the customer is $7 per customer.
Right, so it's cost you $7 per customer. Now, are they in a certain genre? Are you starting? I mean, you can't just have every author, right?
Fairy tales for little kids, and then sci-fi and romance for
or
teens.
adventure for teens and young adults.
Right. On the sci-fi adventure for young adults, are you using all new authors, or have these authors given their permission to write, and they're writing all the different endings? Let's say Fault in Our Stars.
Most of the content right now is original content, but we have fairy tales, public domain stories. For example, imagine that. What if Luke Skywalker decides to join the dark side? So imagine the possibilities. Or what if you make decisions and change or help Harry Potter or Frodo Baggins?
But can you do that? I don't know that you can get the
we
rights
can get
to
the
those.
licensing for Harry Potter, for Star Wars, and all that famous characters.
This technology is not complicated. Pretty easy for Amazon to do once you've built a market. Are you creating any kind of barrier or a moat to protect your business?
We have agreements signed with all the writers, with exclusivity agreements, but the best defense is growing. It is not difficult to create a chat, for example, like WhatsApp, but users growing is the best defense.
How much sales volume do you have now?
We just launched the platform a couple of months ago. We have 11,000 users with 6% of paid customers, 500 paid customers right now, in just a couple of months.
Good start.
Yeah.
How do you see this growing over the next 10 years?
Great writers, great licensing, characters, millions of users. The next step is create audio Pathbooks. No other company in the world is creating interactive audio. We're going to do it. If we have the content, we can transform the content in different formats.
And you're a father and daughter?
Yes.
And how old are you?
15.
Good for you.
And you're still in school.
And she's still in school, and she's written a 30,000.
And you've written a book, and you're running this business with your father.
Yes.
Great. And have you gotten your friends to read now that they have to go through branches?
Yes. So the first book that I've written was The Monster and the Cat. So it's actually for like the ages like 4 through 12. I mean, they read it because I wrote it, right? They were so excited. They were like, oh my God, it's so cool. But now that I have this book that I finished in the summer, we're waiting to publish it next month. So I'm excited about that.
Was it fun to come up with all the different endings for your heroine?
It actually really is.
What's your favorite ending? What happens?
You should read the book first, and then
I think it's they win the Draper contest. I thought that was the...
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for coming on Meet the Drapers.
Thank you so much. I love your socks, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Spider-Man socks and rocket ship tie today.
It was exciting, and I was nervous, but then once I got in there, like, it all went away.
It's an intense experience. All the lights, all the cameras, all the staff, it's intense.
I mean, what everyone likes and what they really like was the decision making, right? It really engages you in the story, and for like kids to start reading more because of Pathbooks, that's what really like interested.
We have great writers, and we're looking for more writers to get better and better content every day.
So what did everybody think of this? Why don't you give us your thoughts there?
I love the idea, and I love the fact that they're thinking about what the next generation of content is. The challenge is going to be, where is your core competency, which is what you asked about. Is it going to be focused in one category where there's a critical mass of people making money who are loyal to their brand, therefore allowing them to get subscriptions? But that's the business model. I love the concept.
I thought they were so adorable. That girl was just magical. The children's books, I kind of got. The ones that are a challenge, I think, are the middle school books. YA books are the biggest selling books there are right now. They have to really, really hone that market well.
The idea is very good. I think the team looks good, just father-daughter. The idea of charging whatever they charge, I'm not so sure about.
Per month instead of
they're trying to do it on a monthly subscription.
Yeah.
I think people would buy one book.
I think so too.
Check it out.
That's a great point.
So that's the biggest weakness, I think. But other than that, I think, you know, if they follow through as well as they've created the idea, I think it'll be a success.
They really need some big YA author to launch it for them. I think that will help.
Why do they need
like
young
John
adult.
Green, a young adult
author?
If you're going to focus on authors, you got to focus, to your point, on a genre, right? So that you get critical mass, because once one author makes money, just like one salesperson, the other authors think,
yeah,
you know, I want to make some money too. And I think if they got the authors excited about it, that, you know, they could take off.
Good. Well, let's bring on the next entrepreneur. But before we do, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
My name is Parul Gujral, and my company is Snowball Money. Snowball is a wealth generation company that brings opportunity of smart portfolio investing to the masses. We launched our iOS app in 36 states in July 17th. Ecstatic about meeting the Drapers. Big fan of Tim. He's brilliant. He's definitely a major force within this industry itself. My mission here is to bring trust, but also have a human-to-human experience. We're here for the masses to be able to have wealth generation such that it's an even playing field.
So our next contestant is Snowball. Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
Absolutely. Before I give you the pitch, I have a custom-made Snowball tie that I made for you, Tim.
Oh, nice.
Here you are.
Terrific. Well, I'll definitely wear it over this one.
The quality of our brand, so.
Wow, very nice.
Very classy.
It's black, not really my style, but
No,
you know,
it's
black's not really on my style. It kind of is.
Some call us the Charles Schwab for crypto. Others call us the Wealth Front for crypto. We are the first smart crypto investment automation company. And what that means is we are a wealth generation company that brings this new asset class of digital assets or cryptocurrencies to the masses. And so the problem that we're trying to solve today is based off of a bet that Warren Buffett made. He bet that a portfolio of hedge funds would underperform the S&P 500. And so we let the masses invest in crypto like Warren Buffett wants them to invest in stocks. And so today in the US, approximately 41% of folks invest in stocks, but the vast majority are investing via a professional that is recommending a portfolio based off of the risk tolerance of the individual. They can just set it and forget it, invest automatically every single month, and there is no easy way to do this in crypto. So Snowball is as simple as downloading the app, hooking up a bank account, choosing a portfolio or having a custom portfolio recommended to you based off of your risk appetite, and then watching your portfolio snowball. Our vision is that the digitization of assets is inevitably among us. Real estate will be digitized, art will be digitized, venture funds like Tim's funds will be digitized. Imagine you're a child in a developing nation that wants to be able to invest and generate wealth. However, you can't afford the volatility of cryptocurrencies. But what if you can invest in just investing in Snowball, but a portfolio of all the companies that are pitching here at Republic and Meet the Drapers in just a click of a button?
You're doing it for not just crypto, but for all sorts of different asset classes that haven't been used before.
That's right. So today, to start with, we have multiple portfolios which are just cryptocurrencies, but we are launching the first risk-adjusted portfolios which have a combination of stable coins and digital assets like Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc.
You're really a currency trader, and you basically have long portfolios in currencies because you're allocating them like stocks and saying, I want 70% in this. So you're betting over time that currencies will appreciate or depreciate.
That's what we are doing today. Right. In the future, we will have synthetic derivatives of hard assets that have been digitized.
But you're building a platform that can arbitrage long trades on cryptocurrency, and then you're assuming that you'll get to other cryptocurrency trades and then physically hard assets. And then
I think what he's doing is he's getting as many customers as he can that are not that sophisticated at trading. They are basically saying, I want like a portfolio that's a certain type. Then once he has them, he can say, hey, I got a new offering for you. Right. Now, there aren't too many barriers to entering here. I've seen 3 of these in the last month. Why are you going to be better than all of them?
When folks have come to the crypto market, they have come with the goal to become an overnight millionaire. We saw this into the 2017 market, or we see this how Coinbase is poisoning you, telling you to choose which tokens to buy without the expertise. And so our goal is to shift human psychology to invest for the long term, and not to become an overnight millionaire, but to invest for long-term gains. Now, why is Snowball going to win? Why is Snowball going to be different? Well, first off, today there are no winners.
But I have seen a lot of people doing exactly the same thing. So you don't have that as an edge.
One, we have proprietary portfolios that we will be launching. We will be the first company that I know of that will be launching risk-adjusted portfolio to the masses. We've got over 6 million followers on Instagram that are getting 3,000 followers a day at no cost, and we're getting 100,000 impressions per post, such that we can create real network effects.
How's it working so far?
We had a private beta before, which had over 160,000 people on our wait list.
And what's keeping you from taking them off the wait list and putting them into your program?
Well, the majority of the folks that are on our wait list are global users. And so we're actively working on building a web platform that would be able to onboard these global users.
So it's not working yet. Is that what you're telling us?
The iOS app is working very well. We were the #2 product of the day on Product Hunt, the #4 product of the week. Compared to the #1 product, we had twice as many upvotes, 5 times as many comments, 3 times as many likes. My background is I am co-authoring a series on Forbes alongside the Chief Digital Officer of Forbes on product market love. And so when it comes to growth hacking and making products explode in users, that's my background. We have a team of engineers that are doing the coding when there's.
So they're not in-house, you've got them
outsourced.
Outsourced.
100% of our engineers are in-house. And so we have an office in San Francisco, and we have another office in Kiev inside the blockchain hub.
And how have you been funded so far? Or how much has come in?
Sure. So We've raised about $1 million so far, and we've got some of the best investors behind us that have had a tremendous amount of success in business-to-consumer companies, from the CEO of GetAround, from the former CEO of Salesforce. When everyone was fleeing crypto, we believed more than anyone else, and we're so passionate about this space. My family comes from India, and my uncle was the oldest of 13. And my uncle had a dream to break the glass ceiling and provide for not only himself, his family, but the village. And so he applied to UC Berkeley. And this Hail Mary was caught with his admission. 1,000 villagers gave their life savings to send him to UC Berkeley. And my uncle is the most risk-adverse investor I have ever met. And one day he said, "Beta," which means son in Hindi, "how do I invest in this Bitcoin?"
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin. And that's why I knew we had an opportunity, but not only to democratize crypto to the masses, but to democratize access to information. We've gotten 2 acquisition offers thus far, which we politely declined because we really believe that the wave is not only coming, but it's around the corner.
Terrific. Well, Parul, it was great to have you. Thanks for coming to meet the Drapers.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
The outcome was great questions and a shared vision of what can be and how the world is being digitized. I think success happens in waves, and it's like surfing. You have a surfboard, which is the founding team. You have the surfer, which is the product. And then you have the wave, which is the market opportunity. And we truly believe that the wave has not only come, but it's gonna get bigger and bigger and bigger. We wanna give you the opportunity to play to win. Whether the market is up or the market is down, we have portfolios that generate income. And so we would love to invite you to use Snowball. We wanna be the most trusted way for you to be able to access wealth generation in this new asset class, which is digital assets and cryptocurrencies.
So, what did everybody think of Snowball?
Having traded cryptocurrency before, these products that they're producing are just long products. His point was, it's a good way to get people hooked. I read that as the product isn't actually superior to anything else in the market, but if I can get them hooked, I can sell them products in the future. When you start a company saying, don't worry, I'll get to the right product, then it's a 2-step process.
I think there are a lot more people that are looking to go long in crypto out there in the world than there are ones that want to do some sort of derivative.
Part of what you're hearing from me is my conservatism or my age.
Yeah, you're more interested in the trade, the arbitrage between the two, and I don't think he's
quite. Physical asset. I was more interested when he said you can trade digital assets that weren't tradable before on this same platform. I actually like that, and I think there is inefficiency.
That was his step 2, right?
Right, that was his step 2. I'm interested in the step 2. The question is, will gathering people who do long, simple trades and having a platform allow him enough time to get to step 2?
You know, that step 2 was the reason I passed on Netflix, because I said, what, I'm supposed to back you? You're sending DVDs by U.S. mail to people's houses when we're a year away from everybody streaming, you know, and so I turned it down. It was a big mistake, but it was because he saw there was a step 1 before the step 2, and I didn't.
Point well taken.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I like him. I think he knows the subject. I always go on my gut about people, and he's a good man. He's going to do well.
Smart. He had his pitch down cold, including the I want to invest in Bitcoin.
And that I think this is this step 1 is the perfect product for his grandfather or whoever it was. With that, let's move on to our 3rd contestant. Before we do that, let's see what's going on behind the scenes.
I'm Andrew Sperk. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Youcanevent. Youcanevent is an online marketplace where you can find and book all the services that you need for your next event experience. One of our customers, he needed venue, he needed catering for his next event. We were able to solve that through our platform, and the experience was like exceptional. When you have this kind of experience, delivering something for someone and get back from them, it's a moment like this when you say, okay, if I solve this problem for this person, I can solve this problem for thousands of people.
So our next contestant is Youcan. Welcome to Meet the Drapers. Give us your pitch.
Hi, my name is Andrews. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Youcanevent. The event industry, it's stuck offline. it's really hard and difficult to find and book services for events, right? Also, the negotiation process is a nightmare. There are some solutions in the market that tries to solve this problem, but these solutions are only focused or in one vertical. For example, to rent venues, you can go and find venues, or you can go and find catering, for example, and the experience when you try to book, it's not that good. None of those marketplaces are really focused on the event industry and position themselves as the brand of the event industry.
So you're talking about companies like Thumbtack are not targeting events.
Exactly.
So you're going to make it a little bit
Exactly.
more.
When you think about, okay, I need to create an event, what company comes to your mind? Right now, it's not, for example, Thumbtack. So we want to be the brand and the company that when you think, okay, I need to create an event, okay, I go to Youcanevent, so there I can find all the services that I need for my next event experience.
We just saw one that was event planning for weddings. I think it's relatively easy technology. How do you build a barrier to entry?
One of the ways is providing all the services that you need in one single place. Why? Because when you have the event organizer booking the venue in your platform, the catering, the decoration, the photographers, videographers, and many other services, we can streamline the logistics of the event and make it insanely easier to the event organizer. Because this is really stressful. I've been working in the event industry for several years. I really know how hard it is to coordinate all of this. Also, our company, for each booking in our platform, we provide an event assistant to support on-site the event organizer.
Where's that barrier to entry? Why do they go to you and not to all of these other event planners or event apps? There are thousands of event apps now.
Tell us who your customer is today.
Okay.
And what is it about what you do that makes it so, to Tim's point, they're not going somewhere else?
Okay, we are now targeting small and medium events from 10 to 100 people. For the corporate side, for example, we are targeting now co-working spaces. We are targeting also small corporations and the tech and startup community.
But is it the admin? Is it HR? Is it the event planner?
We are focused on the event planner and the event management of those small companies.
I mean, one way to build this moat is to have all of the suppliers throughout the world on your platform.
Exactly.
That's one way to do it.
Exactly.
Another way to do it is to have some technology that uses artificial intelligence to determine how this flower person comes together with this table person and this. What are you doing?
Okay, it's a good question. We have an AI technology where our platform learns through the questions and through the requests that our event organizers do in our platform. So in the future, we are going to be able to provide different packages and services based on the request of our users.
I would be a little suspicious in hiring you when I hear that you get 18% of anything you charge me for. I would think you'd want to build up my cost.
But if you think about how the event industry works right now, the customer, he is usually paying almost 40%. There are a lot of commissions, fees in this process. So the customer...
You're not the only one charging 18%.
Yes, but they
even charge more.
Yes, exactly. They charge much more. Also, we charge 18%, but we deliver a lot more for the event organizers. For example, the event assistant on site. And for what we've seen and tried and tested, they like it and they return to us.
What's your vision for this business in 10 years?
We want to be the market leader globally, providing services for events. As I told you, we want to be the company and the brand. When someone thinks about creating an event, okay, they know where to go and to find all the services they need.
Are people using this now?
Oh, yes. We have...
What are your revenues?
5,000 users in San Francisco.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yes, we've made so far in 18 months more than $700,000 in gross merchandise value. Exactly.
And how much goes to you? That
18% of this value.
Oh, that's impressive.
Yes, no, we are starting having more bookings every day, which is really good.
Our viewers should be paying attention. There's a great opportunity for them to invest in Youcan. Thank you so much for coming to meet the Drapers.
It's a pleasure.
Great to have you on the show.
I was quite nervous on the room, but the experience was good. I think that I got great advice from them. It's all gonna make us grow as a company and personally. Yes, we are working so many great features to release soon. We are gonna become the biggest company in the event industry soon, and I really think that it's a great and amazing opportunity to have as an investment.
So, Dad, what do you think of Youcan?
It's a highly competitive business, and while he was replacing the CEO that would have made the presentation, he's one of the last people I would seem that would be in the marketing business, which is it's all about marketing. Too competitive for me to want to get into it.
What I got at the very end was, I think, the subtle reason that it may be interesting is one of the things we learned at ExoJet. You're selling private jets. You have to ask, why they're buying it, and then you have to ask who's doing it. And most of private charters are done by admins. And I can tell you the worst thing by administrators. What I do like is there's so many events, if you don't have a dedicated marketing event person, so many events that marketing or the admin has to do. And if you have a platform that you can go up there and you can have an assistant walk you through it, the biggest thing you're worried about is not getting fired. I'm not sure that's what they're doing, but I would have, if he had said that, plus I'm going to use AI and reverse auctioning to run these people off against each other to get it cheaper, I would have said, I'm in. But he didn't say that.
I gave him a window to talk about AI,
because
I didn't see it happen.
And I know you're the host, but I'm going to say the reason it was brilliant to me is because you can also do reverse auctioning, because the thing about events is that their assets go away. So if you're not going to rent your venue, you're not going to make money that day, right? So
he could do that too. He could do a reverse auction.
But that's what the AI would do. The AI would go out and say, let's take a look at who's out there that I'm going to go send a ping to them and say, if you go in the next hour. Now, I have a hard time investing for the exact same reason you do, because I wish he had articulated. If he had articulated the user is a small company without a dedicated person, and he had said, our advantage is all these people are putting up vendors, but they're not adding value in between the vendor and an admin, I would have said, that's interesting, because I don't know a lot of people who are doing that.
So, Paulie, what do you think?
I'm with the group.
Yes, you are.
I'm going with
yes,
the pack.
You are.
I'm going with the pack. I felt that he was out of his element. I think that if they listen to this, that is a great idea. If they could get that, and who else could benefit from that as the bride?
You can't push an idea into an entrepreneur's head. They've got their own vision, their own way of going, and if you think, with just a little bit of help and we give them this, then they'll make it? I'm not sure that does it. Which of these three goes on to the semifinals? We have Youcan, the event planner, we have Pathbooks, and we have Snowball.
I choose Pathbooks. I choose it for a lot of reasons, one of which is that little girl was just adorable and brilliant, coming from having two kids that don't just pick up a book and read it, that would love to participate somehow in the ending of it, or I like this ending better than this. Something to stimulate them more.
The emotional side of me likes Pathbook, and the logical side of me likes Snowball. But I'm gonna pick Pathbooks.
Oh, so your emotions won out over your brain.
Well, I think at the end of the day, sometimes you pick the people. And I have no doubt that Snowball, these guys are going to be successful, but I would love, those entrepreneurs love their product, they love the idea. If you could hook them up with someone on the front end who helps them, they seem like they would take advice because they have a mission. They're mission driven.
I think it's Pathbooks hands down, because I think the market is huge. I like the entrepreneur. I'm with Pathbooks for many of the reasons she is.
You said you're with the pack, Paulie, but the pack's following you.
Now they're following me.
Let's see if your brother is contrarian.
We'll see what the crystal ball has to say. The crystal ball has taken all of the input of all the judges, and we'll see whether the crystal ball agrees with the judges or not. So bring them on. So the way this is going to work, one of you will move on to the semifinals and potentially get to the finals for the big money, but all of you will be able to crowdfund, and the viewers will decide really how much they want to back all of you. Let's start with Pathbooks. You two have really created something very unique. Our concerns are that it is going to be very easy for Amazon to make it into just a new application, and you're going to have to move super fast to make sure that it takes off and that everyone knows that they've got to go to Pathbooks if they want to get any kind of branching in their books. Getting this new millennium crowd to read is a great honorable profession goal, but it may or may not pan out. Millennials are really a lot more into video than reading, and we'll see how that all pans out. So, but wow, we were blown away by you. And your dad's okay too, but you were really amazing, and we think that you have a major future as an entrepreneur. Snowball, you are probably leading an incredible team. We think that team is going to take down barriers wherever they may be, but the barriers are very high. We believe that the regulatory thing will continue to be a pain, and you're going to keep having to fight it. And it's going to take so much of your time that marketing is going to be like a secondary thought for you. And it's going to be very difficult for you to make this thing work. But you do have it looks like a really dynamic team, and you have great charisma, and you can probably make something interesting happen. You can. We're really sorry you didn't have both of you here, but it was fun to actually have a CTO come and pitch. But as CTO, I was thinking, I gave you lots of opportunities to talk about how you could start using AI or imaginative things could happen. And I'm not sure that you got there. I didn't feel like 10 years from now, this is going to completely change the way event planning goes. Clearly, there's a major market for event planning. I think that you're going after a big market, and there's lots of competition. Making yourselves unique is going to be really critical for your success. So we are really stumped. The judges had lots of advice, and who knows how all that advice came out, but we're going to have to consult the crystal ball. Let me just see if I can get some guidance from the crystal ball. Pathbooks, you can. Snowball. Pathbooks, you can. Snowball. Okay. It is conflicted.
Whoa.
Very weird. Never happened before in the history of Meet the Drapers. We have a conflicted crystal ball. And I'm just channeling here, but here's what it said. It said, Snowball is the winner, but that Pathbooks should move on too.
Wow.
So congratulations to both of you. It was a very strange and unusual event, but weird things happen here on Meet the Drapers. It's great to have you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Well done. And just know that the viewers out there are going to can also help move you along, and that you're all available for crowdfunding. So we could all end up with a lot of venture money in your businesses, and great things can happen. So for that, let's bring all of you up.
Stand up.
Blair, I wanted to give you the special honor of becoming an adopted Draper. Thank you. Welcome to the family. It's so good to have you here. We're really great.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're so happy. So come on in here. See you next week on Meet the Drapers.
When Satoshi Nakamoto made a token perfecto, no friction, cross borders, decentralized. The world he did join.
He brought us together.
We're sharing Bitcoin to be global, no quarter and harmonized.
Connecting the world with pervasive money. He opened our minds, made the banks look funny. He kept his head down.
lockdown, he stayed in the dark. Way dark. Never know if it was planned or a lark. But the world past Satoshi is forever changed. Whether his origin block is lost or unclaimed, the world is right bankers, shock bureaucrats.